Up, they're sculptures that look as sweet as they taste. Learn the tricks to turning sugar into creative carvings when we continue. Welcome back to Unwrapped. I'm Mark Summers, getting a taste of sugar and spice and everything nice. And one unique way to see sweets is in blown sugar, which has been an art form for centuries. So let's head to Florida to learn some tricks to making and playing with this sweet medium. Interesting. They're artistic showpieces sculpted completely out of sugar by some of the greatest confectioners in the world. But to get this good, it takes years of training in sugar decoration, especially of the Notter School of Pastry Arts in Orlando, Florida. It's here where master confectioner Aval Notter, a teacher since 1981, instructs over 500 culinary professionals each year.
If you do something, it doesn't come out the way you want it, try to use it, otherwise you do a new one.
Today, he's teaching students several techniques, each of which is an element of an ocean-themed sculpture. And they all start with a unique blend of sugars dissolved in cold water and set to a bubbly boil.
The temperature is very important when you boil sugar. If you boil it too high, the sugar becomes very brittle.
So one way to keep sugar in the clear is by skimming impurities off the top before it reaches its desired temperature of 315 degrees Fahrenheit. Once it peaks, Aval pours a small amount onto crumpled parchment paper and raises his hands, letting the sticky sweetness drain over pockets of air, creating what's called bubble sugar. When cooled and properly stored, this sweet slab can hold its shape up to 6 months.
Instead of sand, I use granulated sugar.
Next, this confectionery coach demonstrates a molding technique called sand casting by pouring red liquid sugar into a bowl of granulated sugar. And after an hour, he's happy, as the random sand cast emerges like a piece of coral.
Look how nice, how beautiful.
After several simpler techniques, Aval raises the bar, showing students how to blow sugar into three-dimensional shapes. Once a new batch of sugar is boiled and cooled, he gathers it into a clear blob, making sure his hands are protected from the hot sugar and vice versa.
Sometimes you get fingerprints, especially if it's clear. That's why I'm wearing gloves, so I don't get any fingerprints, I don't get any moist into the sugar.
Next, repeated folding helps the sugar cool evenly on the marble slab, but it's still 148 degrees Fahrenheit when he stretches it to inject air, creating the color white. Finally, he takes a piece and forms an orb on the end of an air pump. Using his hands as a temperature gauge, he maintains uniform heat in all areas.
You go as the sugar cools down. Always in front of your eyes, always turning, so you have control over a piece.
All this attention and worry means the emerging fish expands evenly.
It's not that easy, but it becomes very interesting and fun once you master the techniques.
Once the fish form is complete, Aval attaches it to the sculpture's base, then gives the fish its sight, hand-painted details, and just a slight airbrushing of color.
If you airbrush it too much, you add water to it, and the water is the biggest enemy of sugar.
It's the last piece of advice on a 4-hour process, bringing all the day's techniques together.
What do you think?